So welcome to my YouTube channel, that's what we call The Good Life. Today I'm going to be taking you on a tour of my home garden and showing you how everything's doing at the moment. If you've not already subscribed to my channel, if you can please do so, because you'll get lots of helpful hints and tips all throughout the year from my allotment, my home garden and from time to time my home kitchen. We're going to start off up here where I've got my cucumbers and they're doing really well. And for anyone that follows me, I quite often grow lunchbox varieties. Baby F1 and Nimrod are both really good varieties. The really nice thing about the baby ones is that they really just don't take very long to grow, so you just cut them off every few days. So I've got some really lovely ones here. I'm actually already sharing them with a few friends and family because I've already got quite a good selection of them. Oh, there we go, there's another one there. But yeah, it's worth checking every few days because they can easily get out of hand and grow quite big. As you can see, there's lots more coming. So the thing I find about this variety, or these baby varieties, they are incredibly prolific. And I generally go for the ones where you don't have to worry about pollinating and messing around with blooms and things. They do themselves basically. So when you're buying a cucumber plant, unless you want that messing around, I get one where I don't have to do that. We've got a little bit of noise today, but hey ho, it adds to the colour of the journey. Now, as we move down, I've cleared a section here. I had some broad beans and some peas that had finished, so I've started tidying up a little bit. I've got my bright lights chard here, which is absolutely fantastic thing to grow. I've been using that regularly in meals. It's such a handy thing to have. You know, buying bags of spinach is one of the most chemically treated vegetables, they say, and it's ridiculously easy to grow. So whether you decide to grow the bright lights one like I grow, or whether you'd like to grow a different variety, it's completely up to you. But I like the colour. I also use the stems to saute down, so it's really quite a lovely thing to grow. So the strawberries have well and truly finished there, so I've taken the netting off and given them a little bit of a weed. Now as we move into the greenhouse, so I've got loads of lovely tomatoes, so it's a job every couple of days just taking all these lovely tomatoes off. I often make some really nice passatas to put in the freezer. Obviously I eat loads fresh as well, but I often do loads of different passatas and I pop them in the freezer. You can also just chop them up whole, just chop them in half or something and then freeze them for other dishes. I've got a few dishes that I really love that I need to add tomatoes to, so I shall do a few bagfuls in the freezer so that it will keep me in tomatoes throughout the winter. So I'll be using my home produce. I'll pick the rest of these later because we've got quite a lot here. My peppers are coming on okay. I've got lots of bloom on here. I must admit, growing sweet peppers is not something I'm particularly good at, so any tips from you guys would be absolutely fantastic. But I am got lots of bloom on there and the peppers seem to be coming on nicely. And I've got some chilli peppers there, hot wax, and they're doing quite well as well. I've got a couple of peppers on there. I think I need to give these a bit of a feed because they're a little bit pale. And I've got a few spring onions left. I don't think I've got room for those, so I might have to give them away. And some sweet peas. I might have been a bit late starting those ones off. So if we move round, so as you can see we've had lots of rain. The hollyhocks are nearly finished, so we'll have to sort those out at some point. It's a bit of a jungle walking around. I've got my aubergines here. I think I've said before, I buy a grafted variety. I find that more effective. They go really well. Rather than me waffling on about too much about these, I have actually done a video which you can watch if you want to learn more how to grow really good aubergines. But as you can see, I picked a couple today and I'm impressed with those. I don't know about anyone else. And there's lots and lots of aubergines growing on here, absolutely bountiful amounts. In fact, I could probably have that one off too. So I've got lots and lots of little baby ones all growing all in and around in there, and lots of lovely bloom on there as well. So I do think getting the grafted ones is well worth it. I've got more tomatoes there which I'm gradually harvesting off. I think I've said before, you know, each time a truss of fruit completes, remove the leaves below and still keep an eye out for side shoots. You know, you're still getting side shoots coming even in August. They kind of splay out everywhere, so you still want to be keeping an eye on that as well. So as we move over, I do have another pepper plant here, which is slightly overshadowed by my trifid of an aubergine plant. But yeah, we've got a few more peppers coming on there, so that's looking really nice as well. I'm really looking forward to having my own peppers. I've also got some spring onions. They're the bunching variety, so I need to leave them a little bit longer until they start to bunch. I've never actually grown bunching spring onions before, so I'm actually really curious when they actually start to bunch and if I'm honest, curious and impatient. So if anyone knows when that's going to happen, that would be really nice if you could let me know. I've also got a lovely selection of green beans. They seem to come almost daily. I mean, we picked a really big bunch off yesterday, but whenever you come out here, there always seems to be more that you can pick off, which is really, really good. These are doing really brilliantly. I have got some coloured ones on here as well, but the green ones seem to have done a little bit better. So if you want to move around, you can have a bit more of a look at these. So yeah, so there we go. So I've definitely got copious amounts of beans, which is fantastic because we all really love them. So yeah, so like I say, at least every other day you kind of need to be checking your beans really, because they are growing just so incredibly quickly, which is a really good thing. We all love them, like I say. So as we move round, I've got some herbs here. So I've got my chives, my parsley and my basil. I've got a little bit of coriander, which is looking a little bit sad for itself, so I'm not entirely sure. I think the slugs might have had it, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame, but it happens. And I've got a little bit more beetroot in there as well, which I can harvest as well. In fact, I've got a very big beetroot there. I think this beetroot is a little bit further on. I don't know if you can see that. Is a little bit further on than the beetroot that I've got up at the allotment. So, and I've also got my Subpod here. I'm sure some of you who follow me know that I've got a Subpod. It's really handy because I compost a lot of my garden waste in there, and it does a really good job, and it looks quite nice as well, and I grow all my herbs around it. There is a link in the description if you wanted to get a Subpod. Something else I would recommend is having a decent pair of secateurs, because as you're cutting your stuff off, it's really easy to damage the plant or pull the whole plant up, and then you could obviously then not get any more fruit or vegetables off of it. And we do have an allotment shop, so if you do want to look at some of the things I use, there is an allotment shop in the description as well, and you can take a look at what we recommend. So I do hope you've enjoyed the tour of our home garden, even though we have got a little bit of noise going on at the moment, and I'd love to hear what everyone else is getting up to this week.